David Cunliffe.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Finance, does he stand by his statement that it will probably be some time before individuals and families feel better off again?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, yes, I do stand by that statement. Under the mismanagement of the previous government, the New Zealand economy went into recession early in 2008. Families were then hit by the global recession. It will take us some time to undo the damage done by a government who forgot that a country must earn before it spends.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, will New Zealand families be better off paying 7% more for petrol and 2% more for food, as confirmed today by Stats New Zealand?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, it was one of the lower CPI annual increases, quite a bit lower than when that member was in government. I didn't see him crying crocodile tears about it then. And if we had left Labor's emissions trading scheme in place, families would be facing very big rises in petrol prices.
Carol Beaumont.
To the Minister, does he agree with the Minister of Consumer Affairs' advice that to lower their grocery bill, consumers should shop around? And how will New Zealanders be able to shop around an increase in GST, which will further raise food prices?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, I think it's pretty much common sense that New Zealanders shop around to find the lowest price, whatever is happening with prices going up. I wonder what that member does. Does she go to the same supermarket every week regardless? That would be a bit odd, I would have thought.
Amy Adams.
Thank you,
Order,
Mr.
I've
Speaker.
called Amy Adams.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary question to the Minister. How much better off would New Zealanders be if our underperforming economy had grown at similar rates to other countries between 2005 and 2008?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, in the 3 years from September 2005 to 2008, this economy grew by less than 1%. However, that figure was outstripped by annual population growth of 1.1%, meaning that over the last 3 years of the previous Labor government, per capita income growth was actually negative when the rest of the world was booming. Had the economy grown at roughly the average rate of recent years, the average household would now be $5,000 a year after tax. Better off.
Which of the following does he think will have the biggest impact on Kiwi families? Breaking his promise that he wouldn't raise GST, or standing by while they face higher food and petrol prices?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, what will have the biggest impact on Kiwi families is a government that is focused on turning this economy round so that it becomes one where earning matters as much as spending, and that is what all our policy is focused on. That government believed you could spend it when you hadn't earned it, and now we're paying the price.
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable
Mr
David
Speaker,
Cunliffe.
why does that minister not just admit that his government has no credible plan for growth and that he can't get over his personal resentment that the previous minister managed to cut debt in half, have the world's lowest unemployment, the longest post-war expansion, and why doesn't he take responsibility for his own policies instead of Labor's?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, I know the previous Minister of Finance was not a patch on what that member would have been if he'd had the job. But I wish Dr Cullen had been as good as he thinks he is. We are dealing with the legacy of a Labor government that squandered the good times, and we don't want New Zealand families to have to pay the price for that for any longer than is absolutely necessary.
Is it a point of order?
Point of order.
Order.
Yes.
I can't hear what members are calling. Is it a point of order?
Point of order.
Carol
Thank you,
Beaumont,
Mr
point of
Speaker.
order.
I seek leave to table the March newsletter of the Auckland City Mission, which tells the story of families unable to afford food.
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. Question number 4, Shane Arden.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.